in Animal Kingdom today, and we started off in Dino Land. We had an extra fast pass because we didn't make the rock and roller coaster yesterday, so the kids have gone on Dinosaur, and I've just gone over to Disability Pass Primeval World so they can go on that straight away afterwards. And then we also have fast passes for the Rapids and for Everest. So the kids have been on Dinosaur, they're now up there on the Primeval World, which is it's like a roller coaster, but it doesn't go very fast, but it spins and spins and spins and spins. So if you don't like spinning, don't go on it. If you love spinning like my son does, then it's a great ride. We used the Disability Access Pass to get a return time on this ride, and then went on Dinosaur using the Fast Pass, and then came back and used the Disability Pass on this ride. Just over there is the arena for the evening show. The show is, look, there's a monkey up there. The show is it's kind of projection on water, so the music's fairly loud, but it's not quite as bad as the fireworks shows if you wanted to do one evening and your child really didn't like fireworks. It's mostly projections of animals on water fountains with lights and music. There is a disability area for viewing if you can get in it. When we tried, we arrived too late and they didn't let us, or you can actually fast pass it as well. We're just walking through Animal Kingdom because we're on our way to the Rapids where we have a fast pass. It's just run out, but the fast passes have an extra sort of grace period where you can still use them if they run out. And the disability passes, they don't run out, you just use them anytime after a certain time, the return time. Animal Kingdom is quite nice for looking at animals, and there's little walkways that you can go down to find different animals and to get away from the crowds. As you can see, it's actually not a busy day today, even though there are a lot of people in the park. The standby time is 20 minutes on this ride, and it can be a lot longer. Right, we're in the express queue for the Rapids. The standby time is 20 minutes, but because we have a fast pass, then we go down the other queue and we won't be waiting long at all. I think I'll show you when we get there if it is a bit of a wait. Okay, we're going past the standby queue now. If you do end up in it, this bit in here is quite cool. The express pass queue actually does have the potential to be a little bit long. Because any do. They're probably waiting, they say half the time at the standby queue, but it's not always that way. See, we're here and the queue goes down to the front, which is over there. So it's looking like a potentially 5 to 10 minute queue. This is the Rapids ride. I don't know if you can see over in that corner. That's where it's slightly faster, and then it's quite fun at night actually because it's all lit up and there's smoke, and it's quite exciting. During the day it's the same without smoke. There's bits that shoot you. You will get wet, you'll get soaked. You go down little slopes and that'll splash you. There's squirty things that shoot you, fountains. There's a drop, but it's not massive, but there is a drop, and you will get wet at the end of that as well. The other thing that you need to know about this ride is that, sorry, I put my finger over the screen, you have to wear shoes and you're not allowed to take them off, and there's no dry container on the boat like there is on some rapids. There used to be, but there isn't anymore. So anything you take on will get wet unless it's in something waterproof. If you're planning on going this ride, I would bring waterproofs and shoes that you don't mind getting wet. I've just got off because I didn't realise that they'd got rid of the containers in the middle, and my shoes are quite expensive, so I didn't want to get them wet and ruin them. But yeah, it's a fun ride. There's seat belts in the boat, so you can't get out. It does jolt you around a bit, as long as you know what to expect. My son absolutely loves it. He loves water, and it's a good ride for him. There are storage lockers between the exit and the entrance of the ride, where you can leave your valuables and things that you don't want to get wet. However, you will still have to wear your shoes on the road. We are at Typhoon Lagoon. Oh, you can see the wave. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put you up there. That is a 6-foot wave. It's my favourite thing. This park is my favourite park. I absolutely love it. There is water slides, water rapids, and a 6-foot wave, which is great. This is Lost Children. Lost Children's a very useful thing to have, and this is for obviously children who are lost. They will keep them occupied and happy. Through Lost Children is first aid. We're going to first aid right now. Thank you. It looks like we went the wrong way. They do life vests for anybody who wants to wear them in the park and in the river, in the wave pool. That wave is huge. I mean, it knocks you off your feet, it knocks you underwater. You can try and jump up and surf it, but your chances of actually surfing it are low. You can land on people's heads, you'll lose sunglasses, anything in there. So just a word of warning. I mean, it is super fun, but it is also pretty scary. It's first aid. First aid is also somewhere you can go if you're having a meltdown to calm down. Okay, we've been to first aid. The reason I went in is because I have a pretty nasty bite on my leg that's got swollen and really hurts. So they've given me some antihistamine cream to put on it, which is great. And now, oh, I can show you the wave. 1 minute. Those waves aren't on all day. They're on sort of with gaps in between, so there's normal waves in between. There's a calmer part of sort of splashy paddly water on this side of the beach, so the waves over there, and then between there and here are some sunbeds, and then this is better for small children who don't want to be in the wave and just want to play in the small bit of water, because they're not going to get the wave from here. There's plenty of sunbeds all around the beach, but just so you know, the beach is sandy, and also the floor is pretty scratchy, so the floor's quite rough in the wave pool. If you're too shallow when the wave comes and you scrape yourself on the floor, it can actually be quite painful and you can get a graze from it. So this floor here is rough as well. This is the kiddie slides at the side of the wave pool. These are for smaller children, and the queues on these aren't particularly bad. The wave pool has a beach all around the side of it, which has sand. So if you have the sensitivity to sand, you might want to bring shoes. So we went in the wave pool of a giant wave, and then we headed on over to the storm slides. The storm slides are a good ride to go on if you don't like queuing, because they're older rides and they're near some of the newer rides. They don't get much of a queue. The walk up is quite long and it involves a lot of steps, but they're really fun. You can't ride with your child, you have to ride individually, like one person per slide. However, you can go on the slide next to the slide that your child's on and meet them at the bottom. Yeah, we went on them 8 times, there wasn't any queues at all. There's 3 slides there, they're all pretty much the same. The middle one has a tunnel that's darker, and the 2 outside ones, they just have light tunnels a little bit in the middle. I would say probably the left hand side slide is faster. My son says the right hand side slide is faster, so go and find out for yourselves. The good thing about them is, as I said, is that they're a little bit further back in the park from Misadventure Falls, which is the newest ride in the park, and the Slush and Gusher. Both of those slides have queues. The Misadventure Falls we went on after, and the queue was, it said 15 minutes, but it was about 10, so we were waiting 10 minutes to get on it. I wouldn't queue if the queue time says longer than 15 minutes. The ride's not actually worth the queue, especially if you have a child that just doesn't like queuing. The Slush and Gusher again, if you go on the double tubes, it's a ride that you can ride on. Both of those are rides that you can ride on with your child. The Slush and Gusher ride, it's like a roller coaster, so it goes up and down and around, and the 2 people queues are shorter than the single rider queue. There's only 1 slide on there that you can go on by yourself, so if you want the shorter queue, then you should ride with somebody else rather than go on the single rider. So yeah, if you walk past the Slush and Gusher and past Misadventure Falls and keep going, you'll go behind the great big mountain with the ship on it, and right up there is the storm slides, and also Humunga Cowabunga, which is like a straight down slide, and the queues on those are non-existent. On the other side of the park you've got the tube slides, and there's a family raft on there as well that you can go on with your child. And then there's 2 slides that you can't ride with a child. The queues on those tend to be quite long, but at the bottom of those there's a kiddie area with smaller tube slides that kids can go on, so they're quite good. And then there's a lazy river that goes around the outside, which is a gentle ride with hoops that you can ride in, so all is good. I have one more thing to say. I wouldn't recommend wearing a bikini that doesn't have straps in this park, because some of the rides are quite fast and also the wave, so yeah, it's best to wear one with straps. Over there, that's where I was talking about. That's the children's area with little slides and things. It's really fun for small children, and yeah, you won't meet any queues in there. That's really good. And then this is the lazy river where you float around on the tubes, and that's nice and relaxing. You don't need to be in a tube for that one. You can just swim.